Welcome back, everybody. So, before I get started, this isn't a hate video toward Mazda. It isn't. However, I do kind of have something to say about their batteries. So I was flushing my wife's brake fluid. I have a video on that already. I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description. And as I was moving the car, I'd start it up and I could hear it struggling like the battery was getting weak. But I thought, okay, we'll deal with that later. So I finish up the two back wheels. Keep in mind the car is still on ramps at this time. When I go to move the car so I can turn it around and do the front, it's completely dead, won't even start. So I call my wife and I tell her, your battery just died. I'm going to go to AutoZone and get a new one. So she asks, is there any way we can run a test on it and possibly charge it? And I tell her, because this time I'm thinking it's still the original battery. It's a 4-year-old car with less than 100,000 miles. A little less than 100,000. So I tell her, you know, if it's the original battery, we're really just better off replacing it. And she said it's not the original battery. She had it replaced a couple of years ago, and it's kind of odd that it's already going out. So I get to AutoZone, have them run a test on it. The battery comes back dead like I knew it would. And I'm about to drop $200 on a new one. But before I do that, something's telling me, open the compartment where the distilled water goes. So they had some flathead screwdrivers for sale at the checkout stands. I grab one, pop it off. The manufacturer date on this battery is from March of 2020. So they sold her an, at the time, 2-year-old battery already. So I call and I ask my wife, because this is all before we even met, where did you get the battery? She told me the dealership she got it from. I come home, I give them a call, explain the situation, and in Mazda's defense, I'm reasonable, in Mazda's defense, they said if I can bring the car in with the battery in the car, they'll go ahead and replace it free of charge. So, okay, that's cool. But the only thing is, it's got to be in the car. So I tell them, you know, the battery's already dead. The car's not even starting. I mean, battery's in the bed of my truck. I can drive it in my truck. And they're like, nope, it's got to be in the car. So I grabbed this die-hard car battery charger, hooked it up to the battery. I have a video on how to use one of these. Link to that will be in the description as well. And what I'm hoping is this will give it enough juice to at least start it up and drive it to the dealership. Well, finish the brakes and then drive it to the dealership. And then I can go ahead and get a new one. So I will give you guys an update. As usual, you wait a few seconds, I wait a few days. But what I'm not really a fan of is this car is a 2020. First battery was replaced in 2022. And now here we are 2 years later with a dead battery again. So, but I will holler at you guys in a few days when I have an update. All right, so we're back. The dealership said they ran a test on it and it actually came back good. Right now, it's not even having any trouble starting. So what probably happened was I charged the battery. Then after I finally got the car to start, the alternator charged the battery, making it seem like it came back good. Which is probably why this car is starting right up and purring like a kitten right now. So this is my plan because it was even having trouble this morning. I'm going to let it sit overnight, let it get nice and cold. Gave this car a much needed shower and we'll just come back to this first thing in the morning. It's not 100 degrees anymore and cold weather is harder on a battery, so we'll do that. I'll even video it. See you guys in the morning. All right, good morning everybody. Let's see what we got going on with this car. Thursday, November 7th, 2024. It's a little before 9 a.m. Let's see what happens. Right on. So the car is dead as a doorknob, and at least now you guys know I'm not making this up too, because it just also dawned on me I never demonstrated the car was acting up on this whole video. So what I'm gonna do is get my truck, give it a jump, get it back to Mazda. All right, so update. I just tried to jump it and my cable started smoking. I hooked it up, it started sparking like mad, and before I knew it, both of my cables were smoking. So I just don't feel safe going any further with that. So I called Geico. I'm just gonna have this car towed to Mazda. This was just gonna be a review on Mazda batteries, but now I think I'm gonna call it my Mazda battery fiasco. And again, I am not bashing Mazda as a brand here. Honestly, for a vehicle that's in the Toyota Corolla Honda Civic class of vehicles, this is actually a pretty fun car to drive. It's just like everything else, certain things are not going to change unless the clientele starts talking about it. I mean, if this is a regular thing with Mazda batteries, I can't be the only one who thinks every 2 years is a bit much, so. But I will update you again when I have an answer. All right, so here we are. The car is home. The car starts right up now. Brand new battery in all its glory. Now I'm just gonna put some terminal protectant on. I know there are some guys that advise against using this stuff. They say you don't really get the full electricity going to the battery, but this stuff helps prevent corrosion, and in all reality, are you really getting full electricity when you're having to clean off corrosion or when you have corrosion? So just some food for thought. So there we go, just spread it around like that. I'm sorry, I'm having to do most of this one-handed. There we go, and then just reconnect your battery, positive first, and then go ahead and do the negative. And then what's left of this stuff, just go ahead and spread it on the battery terminals. There we go. And then just make sure it starts. Beautiful. And then we should be good for now. But if you have a Mazda, feel free to leave a comment. Is this a normal thing or what? And again, I am not trashing Mazda as a brand. I would buy another one, but if this is how the batteries work, then just step your battery game up. Also, I invite you to come check out Jesus Bible Study. I take passages from the Bible and make them relevant to today's world. Link to this week's video will be in the description. And don't forget, new videos every Sunday. Like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I will see you guys next week.